but I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of this live. Hi, see my sister. Hi. Hi, Taylor. I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of this live where I am going to give away free. I'm live over here on YouTube. Hi, guys. I'm trying to multitask, so bear with me because I'm going to be looking in like 2 different places. But I'm live on both YouTube and Instagram. My service has not been great, so if it glitches over here on Instagram, come over to YouTube. It should be fine over here. But we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the current astrological energy of like the end of 2023, start of 2024. We're going to talk about some of the things I have going on right now, my upcoming webinar, my ongoing course. I pulled some cards. We'll probably pull some charts. If you're over here on Instagram and you want to like see the charts, you're going to want to go over to YouTube because I'll be sharing my screen over here. We'll be covering some things over on my website, and there's some slides and whatnot. So the link is over in my stories if you guys want to go check that out, or you can find my YouTube in a plethora of different places in the link in the bio. But I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end. So I'm going to be giving away free access to my course, which is a value of like $500. It's like a massive 6-month course. So whoever's here at the end, will do a little contest, and whoever wins. I'll give you a code for free access. And I'm also going to be giving away access to the upcoming webinar, which will be later this week. So yeah, and I'm going to do it here on Instagram and over on YouTube. So if you want to like bounce back and forth between both the chats, go ahead. All right, so let me come over here where I can see you guys and not myself talking. And we'll go ahead and dive in. Before we get into the astrology, I want to kind of touch on a couple of things I have going on right now. So I'm going to share my screen over here on YouTube. You guys will be able to follow along with me. If you're on Instagram, I mean, I have the Instagram chat in front of me, and I have over here, I'm sharing the screen. So I won't be able to see the chat on YouTube unless I go and like physically check it. But yeah. All right, so let me hop over here. You guys know I'm not the best multitasker, so bear with me. But like, I'm giving away a bunch of stuff at the end of this, so like, you know, there's incentive to bear with me. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to come over here to my website. So my website is linked down below on YouTube. It's also linked in my bio over there on Instagram. And I have a couple of things going on right now. This video is mostly my way of trying to like catch up marketing the launch of my 2024 webinar, which I did not do the best job marketing because of the current astrological energy we're about to get into. And like Mercury retrograde being like literally all over my chart. Like the aspects that the current astrology is making to like my natal chart is just astronomical. And I have been in like a literal coma the past several weeks, like really unable to take action because I was really reassessing and realigning and reconfiguring a lot of things so that I can take more aligned action here in the future, which is pretty much like a summary of the current astrological energy, right? So I didn't really do a great job marketing this. I really hate sending marketing emails. I feel like I'm bothering you guys and I don't like it. And anytime I try to market it in the feed with like a meme and a caption, Instagram's like, nope. No, we are not going to show that to anyone. So good luck selling your stuff. So I had a really massive end of year sale going on that I do at the end of every year. I launched my website, revamped and relaunched my website in 2020 on the Great Conjunction, which was on the solstice. So the end of every year, right around the winter solstice, I always do like a big sale. Usually it's on my sessions or whatever, but this year there's a lot of things going on. So much so that I want to kind of like break it down for you guys so we know what's going on, right? So if you come over here to YouTube, you'll be able to see. But I have a calendar, a really massive 13-month calendar that I am in the process of making, which we will be covering in my 2024 webinar. And if you buy this webinar, you will have digital access to the calendar. But I'm also doing a printing of calendars and sending out physical wall calendars. And the order for printing is going in, I'm hoping next week, but like, let's be for real. I don't know, maybe the week after that. And then they'll be mailed out probably towards the end of January. The calendars go all the way through January of 2025. Right now they are early bird pricing, so they're only $39. You don't need any code. This is the discounted price that's available over on my website. You guys, it's for you guys over here on Instagram. I'll kind of show you. This is it printed out, but I go in depth to, of course, all of the traditional aspects, right? Like, you know, Venus trining Saturn, the lunations, planets stationing retrogrades, stationing direct, and whatnot. But then, of course, I also have the more, like, galactic transits, like the Sun and Mercury transiting the galactic center, or the Great Attractor, or the Pole Star, or certain asteroid alignments. And then at the bottom of each page, I have like a little breakdown of some of the archetypes that were like key players that month. So in December, on here, I have a little summary of and you guys can see this over here on YouTube. I have it pulled up. Might be kind of hard to read, but when it's printed, it's easy to read. But a little summary on the galactic center, on the Great Attractor, and then the asteroids Psyche and Eros, which were all key players in the December astrology. So I am making this for the whole year of 2024, and right now it's on sale, and you can find it on my website. So we also have my 2024 webinars. So this is the first time I've ever done a year ahead webinar. I usually do my like monthly videos, but this is the first year that I'm attempting to break down the entire year ahead of time. Now, I pondered this a little bit more, and I was planning on doing like the first 6 months in one live stream. I had it scheduled for the 3rd, tomorrow. And then I was going to do the next 6 months like a week later. But then I thought about it, and I was like, we need this 6 months later. Like, if we watch the whole, me personally, if I ordered this, and I sat there and I watched the whole year ahead, not a lot of that was going to stick, right? And 6 months from now, maybe I should be rewatching it, but am I gonna remember to? No. But if I get an alert like, hey, it's June, we're diving back into the second half of 2024, here's a link to another live stream, I would definitely tune into that. So I think I am going to split this up into 2 different live streams. One will be on Friday. I moved it to Friday the 5th. I also moved it to an earlier time. I moved it to 7 p.m. to try to accommodate more people. I also figure Friday might be better for people who work like 9 to 5s or whatever. And then the second part will air in the summer. The whole calendar will be available in the beginning though. Like the whole breakdown calendar all the way through will be available. But the second part, the second video, it's going to be halfway through the year. I think this is going to be better. I think a lot of shit is going to go down here, particularly in the first half of the year. There are some massive eclipses. There's some massive planetary shifts on the horizon that we'll be talking about extensively in this webinar. that are probably going to manifest in crazy world events that I couldn't even fathom if I tried. So I think that waiting to dive into the second half until some things transpire will help that second half will help us to navigate the second half of the year a little bit more effectively, right? So I'm going to split this up. And then my course. So I have my ongoing course. We're about halfway through this 6-module course. We're in the process of wrapping up module 3 right now, and then we'll be moving on to module 4. Both of these right now are 50% off. So down below in the caption on YouTube or linked in my bio on Instagram, you'll see the code. The code's still good. I didn't turn it off yet. It was supposed to only be through the first of the year, but you know, whatever. If you guys want to still use it, you can go use it. It'll be good until I remember to go turn it off, which if you know me, it'll probably be a minute. So that's still available. The webinar, like I said, is going to air on the 5th, the night of the 5th, around 7 p.m. It's going to be available and saved for replays. You guys will be able to watch it as many times as you want. And then there's more information. You guys can go click it and read it. And then also my sessions. So this is like my yearly big sale. If you've been wanting to do a session and like the price point has maybe been something, like you've been trying to like save up for it or whatever, like this is the time to order, because the end of the year is when I do my 50% off sale. Any other time, it's not that much. Like it's not going to be that much until December again. So all of my new client sessions, all of my returning client sessions, my asteroid sessions, they're all 50% off right now with that same code that's linked down below. So, all right, I'm done rambling about this for the most part. Yeah. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Okay, so I meant to look this up for you guys. Seems like Instagram, maybe you can probably Google and find this. I meant to look up the steps for you. I know it's over in settings. If anybody knows, maybe you guys can write it here in the chat, because I don't remember, but I know I had to change it on both me and Eddie's phone. Instagram did a update recently where it is like very much limiting the reach of pages who have been known to post disinformation or misinformation or have been fact-checked in the past, which this account definitely has. Although a lot of times they really can't. I don't know how they would fact-check a lot of my trains of thought, but reposts, of course, during, you know, the I'm like afraid to even use certain words. But anyway, you know, during the past couple of years when certain things went down, I definitely reposted things that got me flagged. So everybody's phone was updated and this new little switch was toggled to filter through these pages. If you go into your settings, you can find this. If you Google this, you could probably find a step-by-step tutorial on how to turn this off. Please definitely go turn this off because I guarantee you my page is being limited. It's been really bad the past couple of weeks. Also, I'm just gonna try not to say certain things. On YouTube, I'll be a little bit more free with it, but over here on Instagram, they are so crazy that when I'm like live on both, I have to really censor myself, and I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, so we're done over here on my website. All of those things are there. The code is linked down below if you guys want to use that. All right, so what have we done? Talked about this. We'll take this at the end. All right, let's talk about some of the astrology. Let's talk about the if you guys are over on Patreon, you have access to this to print. If you guys want to take a screenshot, go ahead, because I'm going to move over to the chart, but I'll move my cursor out of the way. If you are on YouTube, you can take a screenshot of this calendar. It's up on the screen right now. And then I'm going to move over to the charts, and I'll talk about like the end of December, beginning of January, the astrology that we have been in, because like I said, this last Mercury retrograde, Jesus Christ, was it just literally aspecting the hell out of my chart. I am just floored. And it didn't like really do me dirty in any way. I had high hopes for this Mercury retrograde, and it was definitely illuminating, to say the least, in regards to like information coming to light that I was previously unaware of or missed or whatnot. Now this was happening within my 4th house, so a lot of this had to do with like my ancestry and my family and whatnot. So I didn't even do the last moon video over on Patreon. I literally did not have it in me. And that's kind of what this end of the year energy is about. Now, the beginning of January has a whole different tune to it, which is why I'm here now. I'm like, let's go live. Let's go live on Instagram and YouTube. Let's get this rolling, because while the end of December was very like sluggish, but like sluggish with a purpose, sluggish in order to get you to like reel your energy in and retreat and reassess and realign in order to get a very profound message that was like literally coming through the center of the galaxy, because Mercury's retrograde transited over the galactic center 3 times. It makes its 3rd and final pass over the galactic center on the 11th of January in a direct pass. So it's a message is very much trying to come through, but it's a message that required us to lean into Neptune. Now, you'll see a lot of fear around Neptune or Pisces, the ruling sign of the planet Neptune, who is at home in Pisces right now and is sitting in a square to this Mercury retrograde cycle. Now, Neptune gets a bad rap. A lot of planets get a bad rap that shouldn't. It's because people, God, they're so dualistic and they're so black and white and pessimistic that people Mercury retrograded all over my life. Yeah, same. I'm going to check in with this chat in a second. I'm going to scroll up and check in with it, but I'm going to try to get a little bit of a train of thought out here. Which I did just lose. Oh, a lot of planets get a bad rap. And it's because people are very pessimistic and focused on the negative. So much so. And a lot of people really, because of where they are in their life or their mindset, they can't align with the higher octave of all these planets. You know, many planets get a bad rap. Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap. Neptune gets a bad rap. It's usually seen as the planet of illusion and delusion and fear. And Pisces is this like emotional whirlwind. And like, okay, yeah, all of those things are true on one level. But Neptune in Pisces is the spiritual realm. That fog is that like fog of Maya that we can awaken within. Neptune in Pisces governs the fog, the illusion, that mystic, or that mist of Maya. But it simultaneously governs the mystical truths that we can find within this deeply confusing spiritual realm. Mercury retrogrades get a bad rap because shit goes crazy in our outer world, particularly electronics, outward expressions of information, communication. Wires of communication get crossed. It's hard to understand one another, and it's in order to force you to go within. Retrogrades in general get a bad rap, and if you're familiar with my work, if you're a member of my Patreon, you've heard me say this a million times. that I'm convinced that the focus in the pop astrology realm on retrogrades being innately bad or innately negative is like literally a psyop. Like it's literally a psyop to convince us of this falsehood, because that's not the case. It's not the case at all. They are not negative. They are not bad. If anything, they are the most profound periods of that planetary orbit. It's when a planet transits over a particular area of the zodiac, a certain amount of degrees of the zodiac, 3 times. First in a direct fashion, and it seems to be moving backwards over that same area, and then it goes direct again. It focuses, it zeroes in on this energy. Now, I'm convinced that retrogrades are our innate way of evolving. The ages, we are in the age of Pisces, we are moving into the age of Aquarius. That great precessional year, that great cycle, moves in a retrograde fashion. Humanity on a massive scale evolves in this weird backwards, inward reflected archetypal expression. The nodes, the eclipses, which are these huge portals of fate and destiny, where our luminaries, the sun, the moon, the yin, the yang, the light, the dark, unite. And these portals of fate and destiny and change and transformation transpire, and huge shifts occur. The nodes always move in a retrograde fashion. This expression of like celestial energetics, I believe, really helps us to connect to that archetypal energy internally, rather than having to project it on our external world or have it projected back at us from the external world, which is much more of a direct motion, right? That projecting force. But that retrograde energy has a real focus on our inner world. Now, this Mercury retrograde was even more so focused on our inner world, because throughout it, both the Sun and Mercury, as they were transiting the galactic center, were also transiting the asteroid Psyche. Now, the asteroid Psyche is associated with the ascension of our soul, ultimately. We think of the word psyche as the mind nowadays. But the word, literally, psyche, the word in Greek and Latin, translates to soul. That's what it means. Psyche in Greek mythology was the first human to ever ascend from humanhood to godhood. And she did so through harsh trials and tribulations that sent her into her inner world, where she experienced these 4 initiatory kind of like tests and quests, where she's like sent into the forest to find herself ultimately. And through this quest into her inner realms, she awakens. The mythology revolves around divine union between her and Eros, her divine partner, who is most, through its modern lens, is often attributed to represent like desire and passion. But this Eros energy is really the energy that animates the cosmos. So this is a dance between our soul and the force that animates the cosmos. And this is the archetypal dynamic that was happening behind this Mercury retrograde cycle, which was literally transiting over the galactic center during the solstice. Like, this was a really profound time. So if you found yourself somewhat frozen, somewhat unable to act, but in much more of a receiving place, where you're more so trying to like experience this reality as opposed to forcing anything within it. Like, this is where you're meant to be. We're really, and I had said this in the last video that I did about this Mercury retrograde, that the way through this is to make right with Neptune, right? If we walk into this being like, Mercury's retrograde, shit is whack, wires are crossed, communication's fucked up, and Neptune is there, so like there's illusions afoot, bro. Like there's just disillusionment around the corner. Things aren't as they seem. If we have this mindset, then yeah, we're heading into this working against the planets involved, right? But if we walk in knowing that we're entering like Neptune's layer, ultimately, like the square to Neptune in Pisces means that action must be taken, dictated by Neptune, Pisces, that mystical, unseen, spiritual realm. Something from that realm is demanding attention, right? And so if we walk into this knowing that Neptune's here, right? We're in the realm of the spiritual. We're in the realm of the archetypal. We're in the realm of the unconscious. We're in the realm of the psyche, of the soul, right? We're in the realm of the symbolic, archetypal wonderland, ultimately. But Neptune was retrograde. Neptune is stations direct. On December 6th, Neptune stationed direct. So early December, Neptune is stationed direct. So up until the beginning of December, Neptune was retrograde. So for a period of time, the Neptunian fog was shattering, ultimately. When Neptune's retrograde, illusions shatter before our eyes. The fantasy crumbles, and clarity can be found in that mystical dimension. So from the beginning of December onward, we're started to enter into the fog once more, once Neptune stationed direct. It's somewhere we're heading into for roughly 6 months. This is something we have to welcome in. We have to welcome in the unseen spiritual dimension, which is not meant to always make sense to us. So Neptune was definitely a key player throughout the month, particularly now as we're still inching closer and closer to the exact square between Mercury and Neptune, which I'm going to move over to the chart here because I'm going to come see what you guys are saying, because I see a bunch of people are saying things and it goes so fast, you guys, I can't. Reiki Healing says, I learned where my best friend truly stands when it comes to me. Yeah, dude, so much stuff. Oh my God, my freaking family, my Eddie's family. Oh my gosh. Plus there was like several deaths in the family. It was a freaking doozy, man. Oh my gosh. Mercury retrograded all over my life. Yes, but same. But totally necessary. Like, wow, yes, thank you for showing me those things. Also, the Cancer moon, which let's go there because I didn't have a video for the Cancer moon. So this is my way of making up for it, you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't have it in me. You guys know that I can't do a video half-assed, although that is what I'm trying to do here right now. But I usually like pour myself into them. I give it everything I've got, you guys. And I had nothing. I had nothing to give. I couldn't do it. I didn't even send out a message to Patreon members telling them I couldn't do it, which normally I would, because I literally just couldn't do it, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, so the day after Christmas, see, I was just so overstimulated. Oh my God. we had a Cancer moon. So Cancer archetypally governs the 4th house, which is where my Mercury retrograde was all up in my 4th house. Cancer traditionally governs the 4th house, which is the house of our subconscious. It's the house of our mother, our early life trauma, our early life programming, our ancestry, our home, our innermost self, our innermost world. And so we had a Cancer moon there. Hold on. When was this? 4:33 p.m. On the 26th at 3 degrees of Cancer in opposition to the sun, which was conjunct Psyche. So the asteroid Psyche was a key player in this moon. So there was a lot of like personal, internal initiations happening around this lunation, this full moon. A full moon is a culmination of energy that was seeded 6 months prior at the partner new moon. So things were starting 6 months ago that were illuminated or culminated or came to some sort of fruition right around Christmas. The realm of family and the traumatic shit lingering within our psychic field from said family ties all the way deep into your ancestral lineage was very much a focus around the holidays. No shocker there, but this one maybe even more so than ever. I'm seeing like a lot of like families fracture before my very eyes, like whether it be my own or those around me or my clients, like it's happening. And I think that this Cancer moon was a huge illumination to like maybe the extent of just how much that is happening. Now, this moon was harmoniously aspected by both Saturn and Jupiter. So it was in a trine to Jupiter. Where's Jupiter? It was in a trine to Jupiter here, who's retrograde over in Taurus. Jupiter stationed direct right in the start of right at the end of December. So December 30th, Jupiter stationed direct. This is one of that like forward, very optimistic energy that is helping to kind of fuel the start of this new year. Now, this is a new calendar year. If you're here watching me ramble, I'm sure you know a little bit about astrology, right? Or a little bit about the seasons, the wheel of the year. And many of us know that the real new year is in the spring, at the start of Aries season, at the equinox, right? But the winter solstice, in some cultures, is looked at as the start of the new year because it is that return of that, like, what I call the embryonic light. Like that initial spark of light returns. We've reached the darkest part of the year and now the light is starting to build itself. It doesn't take fully a hold and become the dominant force over the darkness until the spring equinox, after the spring equinox. But this is where it starts to build. So that light, that life force is very much starting to build. Our consciousness is very much starting to build. And Jupiter is very much fueling that. Jupiter is working harmoniously with that Cancer moon, as was Saturn. All right, so let's talk about, I'm going to read a little bit more of these comments here in a second, but I want to just kind of zero in on Psyche. If you guys scroll in some of my YouTube videos, I've dove into this mythology extensively. I'm not going to do that here, but I am just going to kind of read what I have written here at the bottom of the calendar. This is like an astrological summary of this energy. Now, this is energy that surrounded the full moon on the 26th. This is energy that surrounded the Mercury retrograde cycle, the majority of Sagittarius season, and really the energy of the solstice into the end of the year and the start of the new year. Okay, and it's that energy of the ascension of our soul, which is deeply feminine in origin. Now, this is rooted in Greek mythology, which is a very patriarchal pantheon. And even in that very deeply patriarchal pantheon, it is this feminine force, this unconscious force, this subconscious force that is the trigger for our ascension and our awakening, right? So Psyche, asteroid number 16, if you want to put it in your chart. I have my affiliate link down below on YouTube and in my link tree on Instagram for the Luna astrology software that has all of the asteroids. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous software. And I have my affiliate link down below if you want to get that and save. So astrologically, the asteroid Psyche, which was conjunct the sun at the time of the Cancer moon. We also had Chiron station direct that day. So a lot of these initiations, a lot of the illuminations within our ancestry, within our family, revolve around the healing of the self and the healing of our identity and our persona. Because Chiron station direct on that same day in Aries, where it has been since 2018, and it's been doing this like overhaul on ourselves, our identity, our persona, the individual, and the healing of those things. Now, Psyche astrologically is associated with psychic and physical bonding, erotic love, raw psychological wounds, recovery, and the ascension of our soul. The word literally means soul. It's associated with recognition of childhood trauma, trials, tests, quests, and initiations, memory, insight, psychic impressionability, psychological recovery, and the state of your mental health. Some students of Jungian psychology have chosen the Psyche myth as the female story, considering it symbolic of the effort to bring the unconscious up to the realm of the conscious. Whereas the male myth, I always say, is probably the Arthurian legend of the Holy Grail and the return to the feminine within, right? So the Psyche and Eros mythology are intertwined. It is the union of Psyche and Eros that ultimately awakens her after all of her initiations. And Eros was a key player in this Piscean energy. Eros is transiting through Pisces throughout December, and it conjuncted Saturn. So our tests, our trials, our tests, our quests, our initiations are coming from this Eros archetype. So I'm going to go ahead and read Eros too. So if you guys buy my webinar or the calendar, I'll have something like this for every month with these like breakdowns of the asteroids and whatnot down below. The ones, a little bit, some of it, what I can fit on here. Okay, so Eros is asteroid 433. So Eros is the divine lover or the partner to Psyche, our soul. This archetype represents immense primordial force of desire for manifestation and experience, which informs the entire cosmos. Okay, it's that desire to experience, it's that desire to be this primordial force which informs the whole cosmos. Okay, it's the union of that with our human psyche, our human soul that awakens us. Okay, and this has been the energetics of December. So like if you were like, I couldn't post, I couldn't do anything because this is what's transpiring, and like you guys on top of my chart. Lord have mercy. Okay, anyway, I'm here. I survived. We're all good. Okay, so this Eros archetype shows active energy, passion, romance, and will to power, including sexual passion and attraction. Eros symbolism includes the idea of passion as suffering. It's associated with our will to live and our passion for life. Archetypally speaking, according to Jung, Eros is, quote, ultimately the desire for wholeness. And although it may initially take the form of a passionate love, it is more truly a desire for psychic relatedness, a desire for interconnection and interaction with other sentient beings, which is like ultimately what I was doing instead of all of the things I should be doing for that webinar and all my course and the marketing of everything I decided to launch and everything. I was just hanging out at home with Eddie and the kids, and I was like unable to act. But it's because we're reassessing a lot of information, because profound action is, right around the corner. All right, let me see what you guys got here. Kimberly over at the Path Illuminated says, aligning with the higher octave of planets requires taking accountability. Saturn. That's why people hate Saturn so much. Because Saturn's about taking accountability, which many still do not want to take. So it's easier to focus on the negatives because it's an easy excuse. Yes, absolutely. 100%. I feel like I can hear myself talking here or something. I don't know. Okay. Reiki Healer says, I'm so happy this is being talked about more, as this is not the new year. Also, what do you think about how the sun is really positioned in Sag now, and there are 13 signs? So, yes, in sidereal astrology, which there are many ways to calculate the degrees within, nobody really agrees. There's multiple calculations. The sun is in Sagittarius. This calendar and the way that I break things down over on Patreon or for each of my moons, I always talk about the specific fixed star that it's aligned with. So yes, it's often in the constellation previous. Right now, the sun is transiting over Ophiuchus, the third eye of Ophiuchus. Mercury, what is it? Mercury will conjunct the third eye of Ophiuchus on the 3rd. I guess the sun probably already did it. When did the sun do it? I have it written here somewhere. Oh, the sun did it back on the 14th. So the type of astrology that I practice is what I call Galactic Esoteric Astrology. It's a mix between tropical astrology, which is rooted in the solstice, the equinoxes, the seasons, the energetics of nature, the energetics of the seasons, the shifting of the energy and the balance between yin and yang, light and dark, which is very much important. And then traditional fixed star astrology, which is the oldest form of astrology before we had constellations or house calculations or anything, fixed star astrology, particularly stars that were rising at the time of you were born, stars that were aligned with the moon or Jupiter or Venus in the sky at the time that you were born were the most significant. The tropical zodiac is calculated a specific way, it never changes. I have dove very deep into sidereal, and a lot of the breakdowns of the degrees are never really accurate. Like, they'll say the sun has moved out of Ophiuchus when I can see that it's still aligned with one of the two very last fixed stars within that constellation. So I tend to kind of stick to the stars themselves, and I mirror the fixed stars on top of the tropical zodiac, and that's kind of what I practice, and that's definitely what we will be focusing on in the webinar. So it'll be kind of a mixture of both. The seasons rooted in the solstice points, which also align with the galactic center and the super galactic center, and the pole star, which align with the solstice and equinox points, rooted to the seasons, rooted to the shifting of light and dark, yin and yang. And then the overlay of where the exact fixed stars are now. Instead of trying to say, oh, Ophiuchus governs this part of the sky, and Scorpio governs this part of the sky, and Sagittarius governs this part of the sky, when really they overlap. Ophiuchus is standing on top of Scorpio. It's overlapping the stars of several constellations. So if we try to get them to govern a 13th of the sky, it's not accurate. The only thing that is accurate is traditional fixed star astrology, the exact degrees of the fixed stars, which is something we will be covering extensively in my course. And I am making a huge PDF that's 360 degrees, like a whole 360 degree view of the sky and the fixed stars that fall at each, the key fixed stars. I'm going to try to do all of the main 88 constellations and the key fixed stars within them and that fall at each degree. Nobody's ever done this. There's some softwares that you can use that have like fixed star calculations, but I've never seen it like broken down into a whole like resource page. So that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, let's see. We're just chatting. Oh, she says, yeah, you can hear me too. Yeah, I think I have the YouTube video playing in the background, guys. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on, is I have the YouTube playing in the background and you could like kind of hear it the whole time. So, sorry about that. Mercury is still in his shadow period. And he literally stationed direct, oh my god, you guys, like on top of my moon, on top of my Uranus, in a square to my Mars, on top of my Chiron. I mean, in an opposition to my Chiron. It's all over my chart. All right, so let's go back over here to the chart. And let's see. All right, so we moved out of the Cancer moon, the end of the year, right? We have this huge illumination in the realm of our ancestry. This triggered a lot of like our core healing. Like, how much have you healed? Was it a lot? Was it a little? Are we going to repeat some of these patterns? Do we need to like bang it in a little bit harder? Or are things becoming painfully clear? And I think this Mercury retrograde is still not done exposing exactly what this message is all about. Remember, Neptune is involved. So things really are not as clear as they may seem. Now, where we can really find a lot of clarity is in how it is that we feel about the situation, our intuition, maybe even dreams, synchronicities. That sort of symbolic, archetypal realm is really where we are in and what we need to embrace in order for this message to come through clearly. It's speaking through Neptune. Neptune is the trigger. It's in a square to Mercury retrograde. Okay, let's go today. Let's go to when Mercury stationed direct. Okay, so Mercury stationed direct on the 1st of the year. So right around the 1st of the year, we had Jupiter stationed direct on the 30th, and we had Mercury stationed direct on the 1st, okay? Jupiter and Mercury are planets of the mind. They are planets of information. Mercury is more of that like lower octave. It's associated with like the logical, analytical thinking mind, our consciousness, our communication, our ability to learn, process information from a more logical place. Now, Jupiter is our more philosophical mind. Jupiter is our expansive mind. And Jupiter is the shit we learn that attempts to connect us to our higher self, whether it be academia or religion, whether it be through travel or self-exploration. Jupiter is really the planet that wants us to grow in order to fulfill our birthright. Jupiter has a lot to do with the expansion of our consciousness. It's very optimistic. It's very grandiose. I have Jupiter retrograde in my chart. This is one of the reasons why I feel like retrogrades get a bad rap, because the Jupiter retrograde in my chart is probably by far one of my favorite placements. I have Jupiter retrograde conjunct the Andromeda galactic center in the 8th house of the occult, of astrology, of death, rebirth, transformation. Jupiter is the planet of growth. It's the planet of wisdom. When you have Jupiter retrograde, which Jupiter had been for quite some time, transiting, it is always in my chart. But when you have Jupiter retrograde, the growth is internal. The wisdom is internal. And it's learned through personal experience. It's not learned through outside academia, outside dogmatic beliefs, outside religions, outward travel, any sort of outward expansion. Jupiter in the 8th house could really be like financially set, particularly through like inheritance and stuff, but like no, not me, because mine's retrograde. So I get to inherit all of this internal growth and wisdom because of all the healing and transformation I've done on a personal level because of my traumas and my wounding. It's fun. It's super fun. But in the process, I get to unlock all of this very strange occult wisdom and knowledge, particularly around astrology, that I then get to help share with others. Stuff that I found through my own internal exploration, not stuff that I learned from external forces, right? So Jupiter had been retrograde, stationed direct on the 1st. So where were we? We were in the inner realm, right? We were growing internally. We were unlocking that wisdom. We were doing stuff on an inner space. Now, normally, every year, I would be telling you, we're in the dead of winter. This is not the start of the new year, which is true, it is. But, I mean, some cultures think otherwise. Because what really is the winter solstice is the bringing back of the light, the start of the light. So a new story is upon us, a new light is upon us, right? It hasn't fully built and it's not truly here until the spring. But I would be telling you, like, we're in the dead of winter. We're still shedding, we're still dying, and we are. But this particular new year, this particular new calendar year, happens with Mercury stationed direct, Jupiter stationing direct, a Capricorn new moon, Mars moving into Capricorn where it's exalted and it really likes to be. And so new beginnings are here. Shifts are here. And it really is a good time to take action, take initiative, and set things into motion that you want to build over the next 6 months, particularly in the realm of your chart that Capricorn governs. This is where we're going to be having the new moon on the 11th, the same day that Mercury reaches the galactic center for the 3rd and final time. It transits over it. It transited over it direct. It transited over it retrograde, station direct, and now it's going to do it for a 3rd and final time the same day as the Capricorn moon. So new chapters, new beginnings are here. And yeah, I mean, normally I would be saying like, we're still dying, blah, 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 blah. Now is not a time to start things into motion. Wait until the spring to set your intentions or your resolutions. But really the start of this year is pulling us out of where we've been and propelling us into where we're going to go. And the year really picks up fast. And even by April, we're already heading into eclipse season. Like, it picks up fast. I'm really excited to dive into it with you guys over in the webinar. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here, and then we'll dive into this chart a little bit more. She says, I have it natally in the 2nd house retrograde, so you'll probably be broke like me forever, too. But you'll find a lot of inner safety and security that nobody will ever be able to take from you. 2nd house. Hi, Holy Tear Dust. I too said this last year, but I don't feel it this time. I'm ready for change. Yeah, and that's definitely the forward movement of Mercury and Jupiter. Our minds, right? Our lower mind, our higher mind, they were really working internally to reassess, reconfigure, realign, rewrite our beliefs, right? How we process, how we internalize information. And a lot has been reassessed. And so now we're ready to propel into this next year, this next chapter. Okay, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I have stuff written here, but I don't know. You guys know I'm just like rambling. I want to get to the giveaway too. We talked about Jupiter stationing direct. We talked about Mars in Capricorn. Mars moves into Capricorn on the 4th. So Mars moves into Capricorn on the 4th. And then we have a Capricorn new moon on the 11th. So looking to see where Capricorn falls in your chart. Okay. Where Capricorn falls in your chart has been getting obliterated. I mean, fucking obliterated since 2008 when Pluto moved into Capricorn. Okay, Pluto has been transiting through Capricorn since 2008. It will move into Aquarius officially. It dipped in there for a second, but it will move in there officially in November 2024. And then it'll be there through 2055. But it's been in Capricorn since 2008. The planet of death, the planet of rebirth, the planet of transformation, the planet that is deeply penetrating and intense and transformative and destructive, but with a sort of purpose to get us to be able to have a rebirth in this area of our life. So this area has been literally being obliterated, like fucking obliterated. So bad. Since 2008, but it's almost over. It's almost over. Right now we have Pluto and Venus in conjunction. Yeah, wait, what the heck? I was gonna say we do not have that. Venus is over in Sagittarius, 2024. Okay, so Pluto is here at 29 degrees of Capricorn. All right, it's at that tail end, that critical aneretic degree, that degree of crisis, that degree of culmination. And so what has been building since literally 2008 is finally coming to an end. All right, again, the end isn't official until November, but this Capricorn season is the last. It's the last one until we enter into Pluto in Aquarius. So this is the last one with Pluto here, right? So this new beginning is profound. It is a beginning that is happening after a huge ending, an ending that has literally been transpiring since 2008, but it's also manifested as the start of a new story, a new rebirth. Now Mars moves into Capricorn on the 4th. Mars moves into Capricorn later in the day on the 4th. I don't know exactly when. And it's going to transit over Psyche. It's going to transit over the sun, or it's going to come up nearby the sun. Hi, Rick. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars likes to be here. And so the momentum here at the beginning of the year, while yes, nothing really is fully making sense, we're really kind of going on instinct, on inspiration, being fueled by creativity, being triggered by the unseen spiritual realm, Neptune. Mars is in Capricorn where it really likes to be. It's focused on success. It's focused on climbing that mountain. We have a Capricorn, a new moon coming to start something new there. Jupiter stationing direct. Mercury stationing direct. Like the momentum, while it has been so focused on the inner world, and Neptune still wants us to remember the lessons we learned in that inner world because it's the only way to navigate this outer fucking world. While yes, we've been very focused on the inner world and almost unable to act, but that was by design. The movement now is very much so on this next new chapter, this next new year, which as an astrologer, you know, I would normally be like, this isn't the new year. Like, Wait till Aries season. That's when we really start. And we are still at the end of the zodiac, right? We're in Capricorn. We're going to move into Aquarius. And we're going to move into Pisces. This is where we merge with the outer world. Capricorn is the outer world. Capricorn is control systems and hierarchy and the realm of capitalism, the realm of success in that outer sphere, how it is we're seen in the outer world, what it is we want to leave for society. It is society. And then we merge into Aquarius season, which is literally where we start to blend back in with the whole. This is where we merge with the collective psyche, with humanity as a whole, the collective consciousness, the brotherhood of man. And then we melt into the realm of Pisces, the Akashic field, the collective unconscious, that archetypal dimension that Neptune has wanted us to remember throughout this whole Mercury retrograde cycle. It's such a clear focus of where it is we're headed into. And so that's why a lot of the triggers around this Mercury retrograde cycle revolved around Neptune. We're about to head into the realm of Neptune. Neptune's just stationed direct. A new spell is upon us, right? A lot of the illusions shattered throughout Neptune's retrograde cycle. A lot of the fantasies came to an end, but new ones are upon us, right? And the Mercury retrograde cycle really had a lot to do with a very cosmic, a very otherworldly, a very galactic message coming through the galactic center itself, which again, Mercury doesn't transit the galactic center for the third and final time until the 11th, the same day as this Capricorn moon. So this new beginning in the realm of Capricorn is very galactic in origin. This entire Mercury retrograde cycle, the end of 2023, the start of 2024, the end of every year and start of every year is always very galactic, because at the solstice points, we transit the galactic center. All of the personal planets do. This one being no different, but Mercury's retrograding over it. And like I said earlier, whenever a planet retrogrades, it really zeroes in on a specific amount of degrees of the zodiac. It transits it 3 times. And in this case, it did that over the center of our galaxy. Like, this is a really profound message, right? And so I find it very auspicious that Mercury and Jupiter, station direct right around the same time. It tells me that this Mercury retrogrades, and they were harmoniously aspecting each other throughout much of the cycle. And this tells me that this message, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, the relayer of information between the celestial sphere and our human muggle minds, was focused on a higher message, right? Jupiter was involved, the planet of wisdom, the planet of expansion, the planet of philosophical mind, the higher self was involved within this entire Mercury retrograde cycle. It was aspecting Mercury, and then they stationed direct right around the same time. All right, what else do I want to talk about? We talked about Mercury stationing direct. Mercury square Neptune is exact. When is it exact? On the 8th. So Mercury still has not come into its last exact square with Neptune. It'll do so on the 8th. So we're still very much in this Neptunian fog, which, like I said, gets a bad rap. Yes, we are in the realm of illusion and delusion and confusion. That is very much true. But we are simultaneously in the realm of dreams, in the realm of visions, in the realm of mysticism, in the realm of magic, in the realm of inspiration and art and music, in that archetypal Akashic field, where mystic truths are held. Amongst that fog, amongst the illusion, amongst the lies and the deception are those nuggets of mystic truths that we can only find if we make with Neptune. All of these planets have their lower octave, and they all get a bad rap for it. Neptune governs Pisces. It's literally the realm of transcendence. It's literally the realm of spiritual connectivity. It's in its home sign right now, and it's preparing for its conjunction with Saturn later this year. Like, Neptune is a key player in the 2024 astrology. Neptune is a key player in the current astrology. Neptune is a key player in the next couple of months as we close out the astrological year. And it should never be just chalked up to illusions, delusions, and confusion, because otherwise you will never pierce through that Neptunian fog and access that sort of spiritual connection to the one, or the wholeness of the collective consciousness, the collective unconsciousness, and whatever is beyond that boundaryless, etheric realm. All right. Anything else I want to talk about? All right, we'll do the giveaway. All right, so we're going to meet to dive all into the 2024 astrology. We're going to go all over January, way more in depth than we just did right now. All the way through to, I think, July. We're going to go from January through July on the 5th. At 7 p.m. Down below here on YouTube is the link if you guys want to access that webinar. We're going to do a giveaway, and I pulled some cards. And of course, they make a lot of sense. All right. So we're going to do a couple of different giveaways. Let me just go ahead and go over here and stop sharing my screen. Hi guys. I still feel sluggish. Yeah, that is Neptune. You're supposed to feel sluggish. Feel it. Neptune, like I said, is the vision, right? It's the realm of creativity, inspiration, the vision, particularly when it's in Pisces. And so while we have direct movement, technically, Jupiter and Mercury have station direct, they're still not moving very fast. They're still moving very slow. They're just slowly getting their movement going. Our mind is still coming out of that inner realm and just starting to project outward into the world. Mars moving into Capricorn, and the Capricorn new moon is really going to want us to start a lot of focus is going to be in the realm of Capricorn in our chart. We're going to be kind of driven to start something new there. But the square to Neptune kind of makes it hard to know exactly what that is and exactly how to do it. And so we have to kind of surrender to the unknown. And then the unknown reveals itself to us, right? Neptune in Pisces is the boundaryless realm. It can be anything because it is where we merge with the totality of it all. And so that's why Neptune is so confusing. That's why Pisces is so confusing. That's why people have a lot of issues and problems during the realm of Pisces, is because we lose ourselves a little bit, because we merge with the whole and we transcend the self to connect to the totality of everything, really. And that's kind of part of the Neptunian lesson, and the Piscean lesson is letting go, right? Letting go in order to know, right? Letting go the very Mercurial and Jupiterian need to know in order to actually know. But it's what Pisces knows, Pisces can't put into words like Jupiter or Mercury can, and Gemini or Sagittarius. Like Gemini and Sagittarius are really good at putting information, particularly even like beliefs or like higher information or philosophical information, like into words, especially Jupiter, especially Sagittarius, the ruling sign of Jupiter. I got lots of Sag planets. I am really good at trying to like explain my beliefs. You know, Pisces and Neptune, Pisces doesn't need to try to explain its beliefs, and they probably couldn't even put it into words if they wanted to. They just know, and they believe, and they feel it on a soul level, that it's beyond words, it's beyond labels, it's beyond the need to know. It embraces the illusion. It embraces the delusion in order to experience those mystic truths within. If that kind of makes sense. All right. Me with my Pisces moon and Gemini rising, lol. I have a lot of problems during Pisces season. I don't have any Pisces placements, but I have Neptune square my sun. So like this energy we're all in right now, like this is my life. Like I have to make right with Neptune because I have Neptune square my sun. I have to embrace the weird, synchronistic, spiritual, archetypal, symbolic dimension because that's the only way for me to make sense out of this world. Otherwise I'll lose myself to the Neptunian escapism, addiction, psychosis. You know, I'll lose it. I have to embrace the mystery. I have to embrace the unknown. I have to go with the flow and be pulled by these like unseen spiritual forces because it's like the only way for me to navigate this. And my Pisces, my Neptune is like right there at the start of Capricorn. So the sun is on top of it right now. That new moon is on top of it. Mars is on top of it. Everything's on top of it. So not only do we have this Neptune square in the sky, but I have that natally, and that aspect is highlighted in my chart. So I'm just going inward, you know, embracing the visions, embracing the experience. You guys, like I love to read. I have like lots of books and stuff. I have not picked up a book. I have not opened a book. And if you are like a Patreon member, you know how kind of crazy this is. Like I have no idea. I have not picked up a book in so long because I've been like just in my inner self, in my inner world. Like the world itself is speaking to me. Lots of dreams, lots of really crazy dreams. I had this really, really crazy dream the other night about we were down here at the beach and we were watching these giant waves come over the pier where I used to work. And because that happened one of the times I worked here at the Redondo Pier. I used to work at this restaurant, and they had to close down the restaurant because these huge waves were coming. And I was like kind of like re-experiencing that in my dream, and we were watching it, and my kid was like taking pictures. And then the next day I woke up and they were like, mini tsunamis are hitting the coast of California, massive waves all up and down the west coast. There were like pictures of like massive waves all up and down California. I was like, I definitely dreamed about that last night. So I've just been in like another space. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple of giveaways. I'm gonna do one. I have all of the names here of the people who bought something from my shop during my sale. Every single person who bought something from my shop during my sale got automatically entered into their own special giveaway, where you do not have to be here for this. I'll email you if you win. And if you win free access to my course, a $500 value. If you have already bought the course, then you get a free reading or a free webinar, whatever you want. You can tell me what you want. So whichever one of those three things you can choose. And then I'm going to do a giveaway for the chat over here on Instagram and over here on YouTube. So if you want to bounce back and forth and participate in both chats, you can do that. And then I pulled some cards, which are really great, especially for where we're kind of at in the year. Okay. Pisces moon. Everybody's agreeing with me. I just pretty much rambled for this. I don't know if I even made any good points. Okay. I totally hear that. It's an absolute must. I love to read too, and I haven't picked up a book or read. I don't know how long, but I keep buying them. I keep buying them. Yeah. I just bought another batch of books, and yeah, I definitely keep buying them. But I'll get to them. But yeah, we're Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. Like we're not supposed to be consuming new information. We're reassessing the information we've already consumed in order to fine-tune it, right? The veil was so thin last December for me. Me too. Really, really much so. But it is every year. It's the darkest part of the year, so it makes a lot of sense, you know? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull from this. These are all the people who ordered from my shop. My daughter went through and wrote all your names down. My Virgo stellium daughter, I always make her do stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull in you guys now. Elizabeth. I know you're already a member of the course, but I know your name isn't showing up here. Very good. But I'll email you and you can tell me. I guess you'll probably want a session because I think you also already bought the webinar. I will email you. Congratulations, and we'll set up a session. All right, so I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do one more from you guys because you guys are so great, especially all my returning clients. I love you guys so much. All right, one of you fell out, so I guess that is fate. If I can get it. Daisy. I think you bought the course too. I don't know. But I will email you. I will email both of you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So what I usually do for giveaways here in the chat. Hi, Alchemy. She says, my Cap rising, feeling life. I believe it. And you're going to really start feeling life once Pluto finally moves out of there in November. Once Pluto finally gets off your ass. Unless you have any like early fixed placements, which I know your chart pretty well, but I can't really bring it up in my mind right now, Amy. But yeah, you're gonna really start. All of our Capricorn placements are really gonna start feeling life once Pluto moves out of there, where he's been there since 2008. And then the area of our life ruled by Aquarius is gonna prepare for a long haul transformation that is gonna transpire till 2055. So just get ready in that realm. All right, so I have this little dice here. It has all of the zodiac signs on here, so it's a 12-sided dice. And I roll it, and the first person in the chat to guess what sign popped up wins. Okay, so you can keep guessing until, you can keep guessing all of the ones until I say, okay, that's it, you won. I'll do it over here on Instagram first, and then over here on YouTube. I'm gonna do 2 here and 2 here. Because you guys are so great, and I know, Jesus Christ, inflation is just off the freaking charts. Everything is so expensive, it's impossible to even live or pay rent. And I know we are all literally so broke after the holidays. So this is my way of giving that back. You guys are so supportive. I adore you all so much. So, all right, I'm gonna roll it, and then we'll go into the cards. All right, go ahead, start guessing. On Instagram, not Libra, not Leo, not Capricorn, not Gemini, not Virgo. Come on, guys. Didn't my laughter give it away? Leo, Aquarius, no. Cancer, no. Yeah, there you go. Kimberly got it. It's Pisces. All of that Neptune talk, all of us make it right with Neptune and Pisces. All right. Kimberly, I know you are we already have, I know you've literally bought everything from my shop. You know what we'll do, Kimberly, which you haven't done yet? Kimberly's my longest held, most supportive client. Kimberly has been with me before I even had a website or a Patreon or everything. You might be psychic or you might just be a Pisces. So of course you're psychic. Kimberly, we will do an asteroid reading. We have not done an asteroid reading for you yet. So we'll do one of my asteroid readings and we'll dive all into your chart and the archetypal asteroids that you don't know about yet. That's what we'll do. Okay? All right, I'm going to roll it again. All right, go ahead. You're welcome. Thank you. Seriously, Kimberly, you're the best. You guys, make sure you follow Kimberly, The Path Illuminated. She does tarot and posts all... Yes! Cosmic Mystic. It's Aries. First guess was right. It's Aries. Cosmic Mystic. Alice? Cosmic Mystic something or another. You won. Send me an email. Okay, my email is thecosmicspacewedge@gmail.com. Say, I was in your live. I won. You can do the course. You can do the webinar. Just let me know which one you want and send me an email and be like, I won. I'm Cosmic Mystic such and such, and I'll send you the code so you can log in. All right. I'm going to do this over on YouTube now. So I'm going to give you guys a second if you guys want to hop over there and do it in the chat over on YouTube. And then we'll dive in to the cards. We'll close out with the cards. You're welcome. Let me give you guys a second and hop in over here. There's a link to the YouTube in my stories, and there's also a link to the YouTube in my bio. Okay. All right, go ahead, you guys. Over in this chat over here, though. Amy says she doesn't know how to do it on Insta. Hi, guys. You guys can start guessing over on YouTube. Nope, not Scorpio. Not Capricorn or Leo. Yes, Cancer, True North Witch. You won. It was Cancer. Send me an email, okay? thecosmicspacewitch@gmail.com. Oh my gosh, she's really guessing a lot. You won already. It was Cancer. All right, I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to give a second for the guessing to stop so I know when it starts. Okay. I'm going to try to do more lives over here on Instagram. I always forget. But a lot of times they'll just censor it because I'll end up saying something that I shouldn't. It's hard. It's very hard. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Send me an email. And like I said, it could be the course or the webinar. Maybe, I don't know if you've already purchased one of them, but just let me know in the email. All right, we're going to do one more over here on YouTube. Okay, go ahead. There's like a big delay. Not Gemini, not Virgo, or Leo. Cancer. Yeah, it's Cancer. Again. Twice in a row. Azul 11. Send me an email. I know you have my email. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, fine. I'll do one more. It literally costs me nothing. I don't have to do any extra work. I'll just give you guys a code. We'll do one more. I'm feeling very given. I'm feeling the given mood. You won already. You won the course already. Okay, if you've won already, that you won the last time in the last giveaway. You won the course or the webinar. Just email me if you already have access to both of those. We'll do a session or something. Okay, we'll do one more. You guys are here with me all late at night. I started this one earlier for you guys though, 8 o'clock. Okay. Oh my god. All right, go ahead, guys. We'll read these. Not toward Cancer, yeah, you got it. It was Cancer 3 times in a row. The moon I didn't make a video for. Sorry guys, I didn't have it in me. It's day after Christmas. The days leading up to Christmas were a freaking nightmare. I did not have it in me, but yes, you won. Where were you? I don't remember I think somebody said it. Angelique, you won. Go ahead and send me an email, thecosmicspacewitch@gmail.com, and I'll get you the code. All right, so I pulled some cards, kind of summarize the energy of where we're at, right? I ended 22, started, end of 2022, no, end of 2023, started 2024. And I pulled an archetype card from the Archetypes Wild Unknown deck, literally my favorite deck. And then I pulled another card. And the card that came out is the Bridge, which, I mean, archetypally makes a lot of sense. We're at this liminal space between 2023 and 2024, right? The chapter behind us and the chapter in front of us. So I'm going to go ahead and read this from the book. You sent it before, Ethereal Goddess, the Cancer? Is that what you're saying? Did you say it first? Taurus, I'm going to contact you by email for my reading. I waited for the new year, I guess. And I tied last time. Okay, send me an email, Ethereal. Okay, I missed that. Send me an email. I'll send you a link too. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, send me an email. And yeah, if you are waiting to schedule schedule a session, everybody who ordered throughout December, I will be emailing tomorrow to set up a day and time for your session throughout the rest of January, maybe into the beginning of February. I had quite a lot of orders, so bear with me. But if you've booked a session with me, expect an email in the next day or two, but hopefully one, but maybe two. But hopefully one. Okay, so the Bridge, 139. Okay. So, you're welcome. Okay, so the Bridge, the connection, the link, the gate. Bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, or personalities. This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. When we cross the bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness. Healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. The shaman, for example, creates the bridge between the everyday world and the sacred. This card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our life. Relationships, ideologies, histories. Remember that a bridge cannot be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. Imagine building a bridge, perhaps between 2023 and 2024. Imagine building a bridge, then imagine building a wall. Which energy is needed for the situation at hand? Which image softens and heals the heart. Lie on the floor and listen to Bridge Over Troubled Water. Notice the ease and acceptance within the melody, the feeling of rising above the muck. When this archetype is evolved, it represents acceptance, magic, and communication. But when it's in its lower archetype, it can manifest as lacking boundaries. That is an energy of Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. It's very lacking in boundaries because it is the boundaryless etheric or space, right? But they can manifest as lacking boundaries or trying to force connection, okay? So then I pulled another card from my favorite deck, Spiritual as Fuck. 99 inspirational cards for people who fucking need some inspiration. And the card I pulled is Fuck What They Say. And it says, what someone, anyone else says about you doesn't matter. Really and truly, it doesn't. If you heard it secondhand, it super doesn't matter. And if the person isn't your higher power, your boss, or your best friend, it super duper doesn't matter. Think about how much more time you'd have to dream up cool new shit if you really and truly stopped worrying about what other people said about you. You think Martin Luther King cared what other people said when he wasn't there? No. He was out marching and doing good shit. Let them talk. Do your shit. Fuck what they say, right? We're Capricorn season, especially with Mars there, is very like, fuck what you say. Like, Capricorn doesn't give a shit. Capricorn is going to do what Capricorn wants to do, and Capricorn is going to build its empire regardless of if you want to come along and bask in their glory or not. They don't care. They don't care on the outside. They don't care on the outside, but internally they secretly do care. Very much so. And they can tend to hold it all within because they've got that Saturn archetype so strongly manifested within their psychic dynamic. Saturn is that planet of boundaries, of limitation, of restriction, of walls. And so Capricorn may have this facade of, I don't really care, I'm going to do me and I'm going to build my empire whether you like it or not, but inside they secretly do care, especially with a square to Neptune, because all the feels come out, all of the boundaryless feels come out that even a Capricorn can't hide. YouTuber is in the past at this moment. I don't know what that means. Okay, guys, bridge energy. Yes, absolutely. That's really where we're at. We're at this bridge between where we've been, where we're going. It's a very optimistic bridge. Look at how happy that bridge looks. It's got all the hopes in the world. And that's really the vibe of this year. Like, even though, like, 2023, especially the end of 2023, oh my God, it was so brutal. 2023 put us through the ringer. Like, it was gnarly. It was very gnarly. And the end of it was quite gnarly. But the start of 2024 does have this very optimistic, hopeful vibe about it, particularly with Jupiter stationing direct. Jupiter stationing direct, Mercury stationing direct, a new moon just a week in, we've got Mars there really pushing forward. Like, it's very optimistic. It's a very hopeful bridge, you know? The bridge isn't falling apart. It's not crumbling. Yes, we're traveling over the waters. We're traveling over that realm of Pisces, right? Things are illusionary, much like a rainbow. A rainbow is literally like an optical illusion, right? It's a trick of light. But so magical, right? We're definitely headed into a more hopeful forward motion vibe, all right? Which is something we're going to cover extensively in a couple of different places. So now I was going to tell you about all of those things. All right, so the webinar starts on the 5th. It was going to be the 3rd, but I'm just going to blame Mercury, honestly. I'll just send you guys all my chart and you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh, okay. Take all the time you need, girl. Okay, so the webinar is going to be on the 5th at 7 p.m. Okay, still time to order. It's all linked, all of the different places. If you are a Patreon member, we will be meeting on the 8th to dive all into the nitty gritty corners of the Capricorn moon, which falls on the 11th, the same day that Mercury transits the galactic center for the 3rd and final time. Venus also trines Chiron that day. We have the sun square the nodes at the sun and the moon square the nodes at the time of that new moon. And so that Capricorn new beginning is very much entangled in the fated, destined path that 2024 is going to manifest for us when it comes to the eclipses, right? So looking to see where Aries and Libra fall in your chart will help you to kind of see the areas of your life where that will be transpiring, what houses, right? This is all what we're going to talk about in the video. So on the 8th, we'll meet to talk about the new moon on Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon, it's linked down below. It's linked in my bio. It's linked a million places. It's a sliding scale. You can pay whatever you want, as little as $3. Everybody has access to all the videos. There's a sliding scale, so you can pay more if you can afford it, but if you can't, $3, you have access to everything. So we meet on the 8th to dive into the depths of the Capricorn moon. We're going to talk all about the whole month of January, the whole first half of the year in the webinar, but we'll dive very deep into that new moon on the 8th. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to do more lives. I'm going to try. I'm not making any promises, but I'm going to try to do more lives over here on Instagram. They don't always save good, so that's the problem, but hopefully this one saves. Everybody you want, make sure you email me. Tell me your little handle, and then your name. And we'll zero in on all the things that you want. I'll give you the code so you can log in. And yeah, thank you for being here. Have a good night. Bye, guys.